Today is Wednesday, Parashat Tzav. It's also Taanit Esther. It's the fast of Esther, associated with the 3 days that Esther fasted and asked the Jewish people to fast before she approached Achashverosh in working on canceling the decree of Haman who wanted to exterminate all the Jews. So she fasted for 3 days, and she asked all the Jewish people to fast for 3 days, and in commemoration of that, we fast also today, the 13th day of Adar. Now, there's another also reason that is brought, which is on the 13th of Adar, which was the date that Haman wanted to exterminate the Jews. On that day, it was an exact reversal of fortune, so to speak. On that day, the Jewish people actually were able to fight off their enemies, and they were spared. But in that battle that they were involved in, they fasted on that day, on the day of the 13th of Adar, and therefore we fast today also. What is the idea of fasting? We have fasting, certain days of fast during the year, and Taanit Esther is one of them. But a fast, of course, you refrain from eating or drinking, but rather than thinking about it just on a physical level of refraining from food or from liquids, it actually is supposed to put us in the context of doing teshuvah, of repenting, of bringing in humility into us. When a person is fasting, a person can be more inclined to be humble and to think what it is that he has done in the past that he can improve, because after all, we believe that any trouble that befalls the Jewish people is because of some wrongdoings that was done. So as we fast, we think about what it is that we can do to improve ourselves on a personal level and on a national level as Jewish people. Interestingly, when Haman asked Achashverosh to allow him to do his final solution type of plan, he said in his statement that there is a one nation that should be as one nation, but they're fuzarum forad, they're dispersed, they're separate, they have discord between them. Esther, when she asked Mordechai to ask the Jewish people to fast, she says, Kenos et kol haYehudim, gather and bring them together, unite them together. So as we fast today and we think of how we can improve ourselves, one of the great merits of the Jewish people is when we are united, when there is peace and harmony amongst us. And that's one of the spirits of Purim also, as we help the poor, as we send gifts to each other. That spirit of unity, that spirit of coming together, of having appreciation for one another, is one of the aspects that we're supposed to highlight and improve ourselves in. And so that's the fast of today. It's a fast that has leniencies to it. Anybody who's weak and not able to take the fast easily, even if he's ill, maybe even if there's no danger, he's exempt from fasting. And also already, as we get closer to Purim night tonight, we'll get dressed in clothing of a Yom Tov, of a festival to come and celebrate the holiday of Purim, which has so much to do with simcha, with enthusiasm and joy and celebration. And celebrating what? We celebrate our dedication to Torah, we celebrate our devotion to Hashem, we celebrate our love to Hashem and our love to our fellow Jews. It's a holiday that has a lot of spirit of joy associated with it, but it's something also to carry with us throughout the whole year, not just for the day of Purim. So for tonight, mitzvah to hear the Megillah being read. We start Mincha at 6:30, and then about 7:30 or so we'll read the Megillah. Important to pay attention to every word that is being read, and to hear it both tonight and tomorrow during the day. And the mitzvah is applicable for both men and women to hear the Megillah being read. We read it tomorrow a second time, and there will be several times that the Megillah will be read tomorrow, so that people who are not able to come early in the morning can hear it later in the morning at 10:45, or also later in the afternoon you can contact us and we'll give you specifics. The idea also of having a meal tomorrow. It's important to have a nice meal, at least one nice meal on the day of Purim, to celebrate the great miracles that took place on Purim, and also to serve Hashem in joy and happiness, even in that physical act of eating and drinking. And we drink wine a little bit. There's not the idea to get drunk. I mean, even some people do that. The idea is to be sameach with Purim, sameach with our love to Hashem, and a little bit of wine just to get into that spirit is good. But chas v'shalom, not to come to a point where a person is putting himself at risk, or getting to a point where he's not able to even say Birkat Mazon, or to pray Arvit, or to act in a way that is not proper. That a person has to be careful with that. But definitely to celebrate and be joyful, and a little bit of drinking wine is samach liva v'enosh, gladdens the heart of a person, but with a limit, not to overdo it. And these are some of the ideas associated with today and tomorrow, the holiday of Purim. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen, and Purim Sameach.